everyone. It is time to do our November budget. So we're just going to get right into it, and I will show you my November budget stickers, and then I will show you how I use them in my Deluxe Erin Condren Deluxe Monthly Planner. This is the washi that I have chosen for November. I wanted something that was fall and Thanksgiving-ish, but not like it didn't scream Thanksgiving. So this is washi A. This is washi B. It's a lot of florals, a lot of leaves. I was just feeling the nature for November. This is washi C. This is washi D. And then here is what November budget sheet looks like. We have weekly checkup, transaction log, debt snowball, sinking funds, and variable income. So I'm going to be showing some of those to you today and how we set up our budget. So this is the first page of November, even though it comes before all the other ones, but I use this for my weekly checkup page. So that's what I'm gonna do first. And I find this really helpful because I keep track of our sinking funds and keep track of like our savings accounts and all that sort of stuff. Like I check up on that stuff weekly just so we can see where we're at. So I find this page very helpful. Okay, then we're gonna put this down. And I think I have actually tracked something different every single month. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what is helpful to track and what isn't. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'll wait and put these down actually, because then I just list them. Like week 1 goes right here. And then I get some of the extra thin washi and I divide it out by weeks, but I will do that part later. So I track some different things. Like I said, it's changed every single month that I have done it. And then here is the monthly view, and that's where I will use some of these stickers, and then I have some bill due stickers as well as the payday flags. I will set all of that here, and it's just nice to know in a monthly view what is coming up when, so that I don't miss anything. So then on this page is where I set up the actual November budget. So let's go ahead and do that. And I really do love the washi that I picked out for November. It just feels really nice and fall. And it feels like Thanksgiving, but it didn't have like the Thanksgiving food on it and all that stuff. So I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out. All right, so like always, our income goes at the top. Okay. Then I only need a couple of spaces because I only track Jason's income on this page. I track mine on the variable income sheet, so we only need a couple spaces there. All right, then our expenses come next. Okay. And then our totals. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna leave a space because I don't fill up the whole sheet with our expenses, thankfully. Okay, then I'm gonna draw my lines. And I think I can actually go from the very top to the very bottom, because they all line up. If I've put the stickers down correctly, that is. Okay. This one goes right here. Now we can start writing in our budget items. So we will put Jason's income here. And then I will just put a little extra. He does get paid extra sometimes for various things. Maybe I'll zoom in here. Okay, he does get paid extra some, you know, if he does a wedding or sadly a funeral or something like that, then he does earn extra money sometimes. So now we always have a tithe, which is always, and I think I explained this in my previous video, but just because we tithe a certain amount does not mean that that is the traditional, you know, the definition of a tithe is 10%, but this is not 10% of Jason's income. It could be higher, it could be lower. So anyway, just because we don't share Jason's income, but so just a disclaimer, that is not 10% of Jason's income. So, all right, then we have an investment. And I find it helpful to, so Jason gets paid twice a month, sometimes 3 times a month, like twice a year. There's an extra third paycheck, which is nice. But I find it helpful to put whether it comes out of the first or the second paycheck, like when I pay that. And that's just a good reminder. But the investment is $150. We have an auto transfer to savings. And that happens on the 15th and the 30th. That total is $323. We are determined never to have a car payment again, and so this money goes straight into the new, well, used car fund. We have our mortgage, which we do escrow. So that's what this amount is. We have our phones. That comes out on the 1st. We have our phones, which come out on the 1st for $168.50. Let's see what's next. We have Spectrum, which comes out on the 2nd. This number I'm still getting used to because we combine some things, and so that's just an estimate until I really know what that one is. And then consumers is our electricity, and it's always a guess until I know exactly what it is. But I'm hoping that this one has come down from the summer months because we haven't had the air conditioning on for a while. Sprinklers are done, that sort of thing. The dehumidifiers are done running, so hopefully that's a good estimate there. And then DTE is our natural gas. And hopefully this is a good estimate as well because we did finally turn our heat on about a week ago. And so that is also just a guess. Okay, that's a sinking fund. So now we have our gas, which this is just our car gas, which I feel like some people are gonna have a heart attack whenever they see that amount, but we live far away from everything, so we drive a lot. Our car tags, are 27, but I think I'm actually gonna have to up that because it's time to pay our car tags and I don't think we have enough. Oh, see, that's why I love this erasable pen. That is a sinking fund, so that doesn't go on here. That goes on the sinking funds page. But I'm gonna have to up that, but I gotta figure out what the new amount is because I don't have that new amount yet. Food is $600 a month. I try super hard to stick to that. We do have a little miscellaneous category, which we have, the kids are going to the dentist in November, and so I put quite a bit more into like our doctor sinking fund and stuff, so this number is weird to make it balance, but there's only $9.05, which will get used up very, very quickly. We have piano lessons, which actually I should have checked to see if there's only 4. I think, so there's actually 5 Fridays, but I doubt that the day after Thanksgiving he'll have it, so I'll put in the regular amount, but I'm gonna have to double check that because it's $15 a lesson, and so sometimes some months have 5 lessons and some only have 4. Then we have Netflix. So piano lessons is the first always. Netflix is the second. That is always the same. And then we have our Compassion Kid that we sponsor. That always comes out on the 2nd as well. For $38. And then our life insurance and our auto insurance, those are both sinking funds. And then I did add, yeah, I need to add this one because it does technically come out of here on the 2nd. That's a little art subscription, like that's where I find the patterns and stuff for all my stickers. So technically that should come out of my business account, but I set it up to come out of a regular checkbook and I'm just too lazy to go, honestly, to figure out how to switch it. I just don't feel like it. So that is our regular budget. And then I do always leave a place, just so that it will balance, I put sinking funds total. And so whatever the total of the sinking funds are will go right here, and then that way it will balance at the end. So quickly, I will just set up these other pages now. So I like to put the sinking funds right next to the November budget. That way I can look at them at the same time, which is helpful. And I am loving the colors that I picked out. They are making me happy. I do plan on doing like how our sinking funds budget, or how the sinking funds ended up. I don't close it out until like I'll close it out like November 1st for October. So I do plan on doing a video about how they ended up to kind of show people the process, because I do know that sinking funds can get really confusing, and I even confuse myself sometimes. It just gets to be a lot. All right, so then thankfully I don't use the debt snowball one because we are done with our debt snowball. We are debt free except for our house. And so now I will set up the variable income one, and I've made a change with how I set this one up, and it's working out really, really well. So I do the variable income one here. And I didn't need a whole sheet for that one. So I decided to start the transaction log, because I use the transaction log for all of my business stuff. My regular, like, we don't need a transaction log for our regular budget because I use every dollar for that. But, so let's see, I think I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I only need like 4 spots, because I do need more room for the transaction log. So then what I will do, then I will start the transaction log right underneath this. And then that way I have the whole entire, so that way, like, I have all of these lines and all of these lines for the whole thing, which I really, really like it that way. It worked out very well this last month. So I'll do that. Okay. So that is set up, and so then I will actually use some of my extra washi strips, and so I think I'm just gonna use this washi sheet A, just because I want it all to match, if that makes sense. Okay, so I will start here with the transaction log, and then it will just continue all the way down, which is perfect. I love it that way. And then I will probably cap it off at the bottom here with this thin washi, which is perfect. And then all I have to do is do my lines, because then this page starts the beginning of December. So we'll just draw the lines real quick. And I think I say this, I think I say this every video, but this is completely not necessary to keep track of your budget. But for me, it makes it a whole heck of a lot more fun. And so if something will stay fun for me, I am much more likely to stick with it and to be excited about keeping track of it. Because if you're not excited about keeping track of it, it kind of becomes like drudgery, and we all know what it's like when it's like drudgery. That's not fun at all. So then what I will do over here is I will just try to space these out the same, so that I can tell like which column is which, because it's not necessarily labeled up here. And if I had another thin washi that matched that, I could totally put that right there. But for myself, I'm not gonna print, I'm not gonna print out a whole another thing just to get that little strip right there. So I just kind of improvise like this, and I just kind of try to make it match the best that I can, and it works out well. So then we just need a spot for the amount. You cannot see that. There we go. Okay. And that's what that looks like, all ready for November. Then I will just go back and figure out my spaces and put those in there, and then I will be all set for November. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!